Yeah, I thought a very well-played game. Give Fort Wayne a lot of credit. We certainly understand their championship DNA. They won the league, a year ago, the year before us. So give them a lot of credit, but give our guys a lot of credit. They stayed the course. We've had every kind of scenario happen to our team, and we didn't stop playing. I thought a lot of guys played really well, and more importantly, I thought we played hard tonight.
Yeah, in that second half, you guys had that lead up to 27, and then they kind of responded with that big 16-0 run. Was there ever kind of a concern, like after what happened last week against Oakland, oh no, here we go again?
Yeah, I mean, you watched it, right? I watched it. I think first and foremost, we made a lot of shots when we got up to 27, right? We made a ton of threes. We put them in pick and rolls. DJ made threes. Ziggy made threes. Brett got to the free throw line. Rush made timely threes, right? We kind of went a little bit dry, right, with getting the ball in the basket, but we stopped guarding, right? We let our offense affect our defense in that stretch. So we got to clean that up, but it's conference play. As you see every night, strange things happen. These games are never over till the final horn. That's what this group has to continue to realize. But a lot of them, it's the first time ever playing in this conference. So, when you shoot the three that well as John's team does, the game's never over with Fort Wayne.
Just talk about Brett Thompson today. I mean, 17 20 from the free throw line, 24 points. Even his defense was stellar today.
Yeah, I mean, he gets, 24, 7 assists, 2 rebounds, sets the school record. He's starting to remind me of Quisenberry, a few years back, just coming off ball screens and really attacking and making the right reads, right? So we got to get him in pick and rolls. He draws a lot of fouls, plays very, very aggressive, getting to the rim. And, I thought for a stretch there he carried us, right? DJ did for a while. Ziggy did for a while. Rush made some timely ones. But BT was relentless. And that's what you want from your guys. You want relentless effort the entire game.
Speaking of the defense, in that first half, you guys were holding the 30, and then I think 32
Yeah.
shooting. Do you feel like you guys kind of find an answer defensively?
I mean, that was incredible. We went with kind of two different lineups. We went with our man-to-man switching defense, so that was one lineup. And then we went with our two defense, our matchup zone. So when they subbed certain guys in, we made adjustments. I thought the adjustments were great in the first half. Hold a team like that's averaging 88 points to 30. It's a great sign. But once again, we gave up 85. So it's just sustainability in the second half, right? You saw it against Oakland. You certainly saw it here tonight. You got to play for a full 40.
You talked about, the team gelling and taking that time. Have you reached that time now where the team
Yeah, I think so, Dana. We're getting close. We got to get our bench a little more enthused, to be honest with you. We have so many freshmen over there that are redshirting. They don't really know how to cheer. It's kind of crazy to me, but it's really not in the portal era. So we just got to have the guys like I-Man and Jalen Bates and, E.J. Farmer and those guys, John Lovelace. They got to come into the game and just give us a spark like they did. And then we need those guys that aren't playing this year to just provide that energy. That's what we had last year. We had that cohesion, kind of like Coach Kaufman has this year, right? He's got a lot of returning guys that played for him, know him, been in his system, and then a bunch of guys that have transferred in. We're kind of the other way, right? We've only got a few, and then we've got a lot of transfers. So as we go through this first round of games in the Horizon League, I think by the time you get through the first round of games, they'll have a clear understanding of, hey, here's what Wright State does, here's what Fort Wayne does, here's what Oakland does, right? We just played how many teams straight that play all zone. Now tonight we're seeing a very aggressive man-to-man that pretty much double team the ball on ball screens. So it's something totally different. And that's what this league's about. It's kind of a crazy league as far as the number of defenses you see every night, and you don't have a ton of time to prepare for.
Jerrod, were you pleased, or were you surprised by the way they play the first half? They were actually probably the best you've seen, especially coming out.
No, not really. We've had about 2 or 3 good days. We came out of IUPUI. They had them out at my house last night. We had a really good night of film study and just hanging out. I felt like our guys were in a good place. They were hungry. We know we've let 2 games slip. We blew a 16-point lead at Northern Kentucky, 8-point lead here. We understand that every game's really, really critical. So, Friday night, 9 o'clock, ESPN. We've had unbelievable atmospheres here. It's not only about us, but it's about the city, right? We can get, really some national coverage. A lot of people don't know about our program. So it's going to be on ESPN. It's going to be all over the world. It's a pretty big honor, right? It's a pretty neat thing. So let's pack it. Let's get the red out, and let's showcase what our community's about. And they support our team, right? We got 2 or 3 little kids teams down there in the locker room. They're interacting, signing autographs. I mean, that's what this city's about. It's a sports town, and people should be fired up for Friday night.
How does the late start change anything? If anything?
I don't know. I think I got to get some rest, sleep in a little bit. 9 o'clock's pretty late for me, Dana. I don't know about you, but I think it'll affect the little kids, right? But it's not a school night. But hopefully some people aren't scared to bring them down, be rolling out of here about 11 o'clock. It's definitely a late start. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we've been playing games at 2 on the weekends and 6:30 during the week. So you're looking at a 2.5-hour difference, but our guys are night owls anyway, so they'll be ready to go.
Jerrod, do you feel kind of like the officiating is one lopsided today, or?
Yeah, this officiating stuff, I mean, it's a hard game to officiate, right? Like, I talked with Rob Schmidt after Northern Kentucky. We sent in 12 clips to the Horizon League. All 12 were deemed the bad calls. They all went against us at Northern Kentucky. So I think what's happened in college basketball, we've got to continue to get good young officials and get them better, get them groomed. We've had some unbelievable officials on our games. That crew at IUPUI, big time crew. So it's like anything else. They got to continue to get games to get better, but I think they're overworked. Quite honestly, Aus, a lot of these officials are really, really severely overworked because there's not enough of them. Right, it's like everything else in America. We don't have enough people working. So in a way, I feel kind of bad for them. But when you make 2,000 or 3,000 a game, you don't really feel bad for them, right? So you hope that the advisor and their superiors hold them accountable, right, for the calls. They're watching the clips, they're talking them through. I know John was down there; he wasn't happy with some calls. I wasn't happy with some calls. Until I watch the tape, it's hard for me to say, hey, this guy had a bad night. But I watch every clip and see what what was what. But we're partnered with the Big Ten, so we have a pretty good system in place. A lot of our officials do the Big Ten, so you see a variety of guys.
And then from my view, I didn't see what happened, but will you give an explanation about the technical foul I was given at the start of the second half?
Which on the flop. So it was a cylinder call, and it was deemed a flop, and by rule, that's a technical.